Hello, hello, hello. We are here for Scrapbusting with Melina and Gail. I've got my book out and ready to go. I will say, this week, between Roxy, Melina, and Gail has just been repeat. It's like everybody's collaging this week. I think maybe we're all in a slump and out of ideas. Excuse me. So we're just gonna roll. So what Melina did was she used an envelope to make wraparound pockets. You take an envelope and you would, cut this little flap off. But I don't want to create yet another scrap. As you can tell, my throat is still very scratchy. Pop my lozenge real quick. So what she did was she cut this flap off. Right? But then you end up with a scrap. And I'm trying to decrease my scrappage. So I'm just going to run some glue along there. That glue stick is almost dead. And I'm just going to tuck it inside, and I'm going to glue it down. Little Minnie Moo is sound asleep on the couch. She came in and said, Grandma, can I lay in your lap? And I said, well, you can't really lay in my lap in my craft chair. Do you want me to come out to the living room and lay, and you can lay in my lap? And she's like, yeah. So I go out there, and I no sooner got my feet, the recliner kicked up, and she was out. I'm like, well, okay. So I let her settle in, and then I scooted my little self out from under her and let her. So she's asleep on the couch. We'll see what happens because it is, it was only 6 o'clock. So we'll see if she stays asleep all night. So all I did was cut the tabs off there just to give it, a straight. You don't have to do that. But I did. I chose to. And I'm going to continue using the scraps that I created when I was doing Roxy's Weekly Challenge. So I already have some pieces started here. So I'm going to use what's here rather than creating more. Apparently that glue is done. Where's the lid? Oh, sorry. I just realized I totally turned into the microphone to cough just now. Stood up away from it. Now with these, you can flip it and turn it, wrap it around the edges. You can do them just level's not the word I'm looking for, but even with the edges, and then deal with that. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Also going to try to keep those little pieces trimmed out as I move along as well. I'm going to have to... This is kind of a mindless project that brain. See, I can't even think. The collaging. So, in all likelihood, I will probably zone off and like not talk because I'll get focused in. But I will try not to get too distracted by, too lost in thought. That. I'm going to try not to hack up a lawn, man. Put my phone over there so I can charge out of the way. My throat is driving me crazy. So this paper has little, divots in it. So as you saw, it like really ate my glue stick up. Oop. Whoops. There's not much there, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that piece off rather than trying to wrap it. Let's get rid of the straight edges here. Yeah, front. The front is done. And this one I'm going to trim. I can find my scissors. I need a piece for right here and a piece for right here. So that I can get away with it there because it's ever so slightly a different color. Get off of me. Line that up. So I'm not going all the way down, just covering it enough to have the top. Okay. Something for right there. And again, I'm not going to try wrapping that around because there's not really enough there to grab. This I'm going to let sit off the side. I'm going to let that sit and dry. Get all these little itty bitty bits and pieces out of the way. I'm going to check on my staples. I'm trying to rust some staples. And so far, it's not turning out the way the instructions say it should. Oh, I almost dumped that. That would have been bad. That would have been bad. But, so I have a set in here. They're not entirely rusty, but they're, not new either. My husband's like, why do you want rusty staples? For my grungy journals. Duh. All right, so these are glue pages folded in half, glued on themselves. They're on my desk, so I'm just going to go ahead and use these for Gail's Scrapbuster for today, which she did a collage masterboard for her Alice in Wonderland journal. I think everybody must be out of ideas or struggling with ideas, or so then I don't know. So I'm just crossing the barrier, the space in between there to kind of glue those pages together. I think I'm going to have enough of this scrap paper to do these. Oh, tomorrow is the start of the 100-day project. I'm like, I really have to decide whether I'm going to participate in that, because that's yet another crafty challenge. That is committing to 100 days in a row of doing something crafty. And it's usually on a generalized theme. So 100 days of tags, or 100 days of journaling cards. One of the creators, I saw her do her introduction video today, and she's going to do 100 days of Rolodex cards, which I thought, I could do that because I have, they're meant to go to run through your printer, but they're shaped like Rolodex cards. So I'm like, I mean, they're on my shelf. It's where they've been for a while. Got them in a secondhand store, and have yet to do anything with them. But I'm like, I've already got 5 challenges going on. Do I want to take on another one? And I realized that, in 2024, my word of 2024 is challenge. But at the same time, how much do I want to challenge myself? You can see when you're doing collage, there's like no rhyme or reason. Really, you don't have to worry about like where things are going. I think this is why a lot of us, when we get stuck in a craft funk, turn to collage to kind of break the brain a little bit. Because you just tear and glue. You don't have to think. Well, you're not supposed to have to think. If you're my daughter, you still think, and you overthink your collage. Which is why her word for 2024 is underthink. Because she gets herself pigeonholed, and then, she gets stuck. And she can't, get her brain. She can't even like craft because she gets stuck in this mindset of this and that, and it's got to have this, and it needs these elements, and it's like, stop it. Stop it, girl. And I am going over the edges here. I will cut those off in a bit. Ooh, my ears are ringing. Wonder who's talking about me. Ooh, I don't need this to be this big. We'll go there and there. And then we'll take this piece and we'll just put it up here in this corner. do have to break that up because I got a little pyramid type thing going on here. I need something, a different color coming in here. Oh, I know what I could do to introduce some of the color. Some papers down here from the dyeing session for the envelopes I was working on. Move out of my way. And again, that's doing nothing but other than introducing a new color because I was kind of starting to overlap a lot of those. Ugh. Yeah, these are that's probably a pretty boring video for y'all because, again, this is kind of old hat. Rubbing off some of that extra glue here. Okay, my inclination would be to put something right here. But what? See, I don't have anything without introducing another color. So we're going to skip it. Okay, so we're going to set this aside and let it dry. We're going to come back to this envelope. So I have done the front, this internal flap side, plus this little pocket, this back part of the envelope. So you're going to take this. This is why you needed to let it dry. You're going to fold it in half. Grab something to burnish with. And burnishing is just, pressing down that fold, getting it to cooperate. Okay. So now when you put this in a journal, you can either sew it in as a signature, and then you have a pocket and a pocket. it can be as Melina intended, and it be a wraparound, which she seems to be doing a lot of wraparound stuff lately. And then it just clips on, and then you have a pocket here, and you have a pocket here. You could fold it, even fold it this way. Which, if I was going to do it as a wraparound, I would probably fold it this way, so that way, oops, more than one page there. So that you have the pocket opening here and here. But you can do this as a clip-on. You could do this as, you could glue it on. You know, you can glue it on just running a bead down the center right here along the fold. And then deciding how, you know, if you want it to be a flip like this, just run a bead, a single bead. And then, you know, it'll glue itself to the page, and then this will flip out on both sides. That side will flip out, and then this side will flip out, and it'll just be adhered by that center. Or, you know, you could glue it, you know, here in the U, and then you'll have a pocket here and a pocket here. If this was a smaller envelope, you could go here, here, and here, and then have a side tuck here and a pocket here. For this size envelope going into this size journal, for me, I wouldn't do that because there's not much room between your spine to like really get things in there. I would be more inclined to glue it in a U if I was going to glue it at all. Now, if you make that decision ahead of time, if this is going to be a wraparound and you're going to glue it all the way in so that you have the pocket in the pocket, you obviously do not need to decorate the back because it's going to be the inside, you know, it's going to be up against the page and you're not going to see it, right? But for the intent and purpose of Melina's challenge this week, we are doing it just as a wraparound pocket. And so you have a pocket here to put stuff in and a pocket here to put stuff in. And this whole thing is a decorative paper clip. So like you could take like decorative papers and go like this behind it. And that paper clip will hold this paper in. And obviously these would be decorated with something, but I'm not gonna decorate those. So that is Melina's collage challenge for this week. Let's go back and date things. I'm going to put this up here. No idea what next week is going to bring. So let's see. Also, a benefit of this being paper clipped in instead of being glued in is that if I have something that then is bottom heavy next week, I can slide this up and out of the way. And today's date is, come on, pen. This is a pen that I got in the most recent auction. So I probably should have checked to see if they worked before I tried to use them. Right. Let's put some of my tools away here. Okay. I'm going to pull this out. Let's trim these off. And again, I'm not I've already used them twice. I'm not going to save my cutoffs and turn those into something, because, there's only so much repurposing that you can do, or that you should do, or be okay with doing. Not that there's any shoulds in crafting, but each person has to make that decision for themselves. What's the cutoff, Okay, I'm going to leave those upside down for right now, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this paper on one of them. One's the least bumpy. Excuse me. Oh, and I'm going to use my good glue, because oh man. Ouch. Nothing like some silicone glue to remind you that you have a cut in your finger. Ow. And yeah, silicone glue directly into the cut on my finger. Oops. I didn't want to look at that just yet. Well, I guess I'm going to have to, because I have to turn it over to be able to see to cut it, don't I? I guess it doesn't entirely matter. I'm not done cutting it up, so. Okay, I'm just trimming off all the extra paper. This is an old gift card, grocery gift card. Didn't know they expired. It had $25 on it when it was given to me. And then forgot about it. That was a couple years ago, actually. And I found a whole stack of gift cards, and I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I better check all the balances on everything. That was when I discovered that a whole bunch of gift cards have expiration dates. Had no clue. So this is covered, so that way I can use it as a tag. I can use it. I can use it to make tags. I can use it to make journaling cards, whatever, whatnot. This one I left. I'm not going to cover, because I can use this one then as a pocket. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my handy dandy little paper trimmer out. Let's see, I've got the paper is not glued very well. So there. And I may have to do some repairs. More silicone glue into my cut. Ouch. Ouch. So I'm going to do let's see, how big is this? 6-inch. So let's do a 2¼ inch tag. And then this can be a journaling card. Okay, so this, again, we're going to do the old snip and flip to turn this into a tag. And then a journaling card. Generally, with a journaling card, all you're really doing is rounding the corners. Just going to make sure that this is straight, which it is absolutely not. Okay. Ooh, oops. Found a wet spot in the glue. That's okay. It's just going to have to be. My dogs are being psycho. So they're not wanting to lay down. So with tags, I'm just rounding the corners because that helps them slide in and out of pockets easier. Straightening that. Sorry. Oh, I don't want to flip it yet. There we go. Now my corners are even. Okay. And then again, journaling cards. It's basically just, a rectangle, a square, whatever, with rounded corners. What did I go with that other one? Oh, it's right here. And then I need to make sure that this is going to fit as a pocket into the journal. So it is 6 inches, so it would not. So we're going to take it down to 4.5 by 3.5. And again, that's creating scraps. It's creating scraps. It's going to happen. Watch any Scrapbuster channel. And they're going to tell you how crazy it is that how often they create scraps while getting rid of scraps. And there's really no way around it unless you make the absolute commitment to throwing stuff away. So I just put some glue in there to solidify that up where the pages weren't quite glued together. Same here. So that way when I do go to use them, I don't have to worry. Microphone, sorry. Okay. Scraps. Use. Scraps. Okay, so pocket, which I don't have a punch on my desk, so we're going to improvise. I'm going to use the lid. And that's how you do that. If you don't have a punch, circle punch of any size, just find something round. In this case, I grabbed the lid off of my glue stick. Cut yourself a little notch. So this is what you do with the master boards. And again, I'm not going to decorate these. I'm not going to waste, solid ephemera on I did book. Okay. But doing a collage masterboard, so I use the glue, my glue pages that are folded in half. When they get too gluey, and everything starts sticking to them, I just put a little bit of extra glue in it, fold it in half. And file them away for later use. And in this case, I used it to make a pocket, which once I start assembling my steampunk journal, I probably will make more camouflage masterboard pockets, just because it does fit better with the aesthetic of it, the grungy. Just kind of going around and grunging this up a little bit. And then we also have the tag. I must have put my flat hole puncher away. Surprise, surprise. Either that or I buried it, which is also entirely possible. So I'm just going to use a round hole puncher. Try to center it. Voila. Tag, hole punch. Add more glue. Okay. You could just make a decision as to which one of us is going to bed the dogs at night. We wouldn't have to keep checking in with each other. But anyway, masterboard. So pocket, journaling card, tag. And that is week 7 for Galagustinelli, Scrappy Saturday. Week 7. You guys really get to hear my family this week, or these last couple of videos, because, yeah. Oops. Let's not get that dribbling everywhere. Put the date there. The lid on. Put you over there. All right, so we have week 7 of Scrappy Saturday. And M's Scrapbusters. And we are in the books for another week done. So thanks for joining in. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell if you haven't already done so. That lets you know when I have another video drop. We're getting chunky. It helps keep me in the algorithm, which is where I want to be. So until next time, I will talk to you later. Bye. Peace.